Hi and welcome to this week's episode of the Amber Tree Wellness TV. How are you going? It's great to be here on this gorgeous sunny day. What I thought I'd talk to you about today is breakfast cereals and how breakfast cereals came about and why we need to be really concerned about what we're having for breakfast. Now, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and it's breaking a fast because we haven't had anything to eat for the previous 8 hours at least. So it is important, it is the most important meal of the day. But is breakfast cereals the most nutritious food that we could be having? We look at all these advertising that is going on and it's telling us that we must have breakfast cereals for breakfast because it makes our boys grow into strong iron men. It gives us all these nutrients. It's a way to start the day off. It keeps us slim. There's so much marketing around us. But what's the real story around breakfast cereals? Breakfast cereals are not really a staple part of our diet, and they haven't been in the history of our diet. They've now become a staple. And that's only really in our recent history, in the last 100 years or so. Breakfast cereals were first invented by Dr. Kellogg, and most people will know that name. He was a Seventh-day Adventist, and him and I think it was his brother, they used to run a sanitarium, a health spa. And on this health spa, he noticed that a few things. One, that a lot of people were constipated, and two, that the men quite often were late to coming to the morning rituals of whatever they had to do, whether or not it was saying their prayers, whatever it is they were supposed to be doing. Men were quite often late, and this was because they were in their rooms, I have to keep this G-rated, but pleasuring themselves. And so he then thought, well, okay, if I actually put this cereal together, it's going to stop men from doing that, and it's also going to clear the bowels. So that's where breakfast cereals came along, and then he developed a dried, rolled out corn type of flake, and it goes on from there. And since then, breakfast cereals have become a staple of our way of living. But is all the hype, is it all really true? This added iron, these added nutrients. We take a really good quality food, we grind it, we refine it, and then we add all these nutrients in which our body really can't absorb, and then pre-package it back, coat it with sugar and colouring, and give it back and say this is a really healthy breakfast. I'm actually going to give you a little bit of an experiment to do. Go and find one of those cereals that are fortified with iron, that tells you they're high in iron. Crush them up and to small bits, cover them with a little bit of Glad wrap or cling wrap, plastic wrap, if you've got any, and get a magnet and run a magnet over the top of it. You will actually find that you actually pick up small bits of iron, because the added iron is actually iron shavings. And it is true. Go and try that experiment. And do you think that's the type of iron that our bodies want? Yes, there's iron in that cereal, but that's not what our bodies want. Our bodies don't want to be, taking in these bits of iron filings, and it's just going to pass straight through. It's one of the reasons why we get constipated, because of this dose of toxic iron that our bodies don't want. It needs the right type of iron. So cereals are not necessarily the best way to start the day. There's other things that you can do. Some of your mueslis are fine, but look at the more seed-based stuff. Ones that have got lots and lots of seeds in them, of lots of different grains. Make your own. Go get a variety of different grains, put them all together, and make your own. Porridge, a real rolled oat, not the type that's in a paper packet that you put in the microwave and heat up and it's got all this sugar in it. Real rolled oats, make some of them. It doesn't need to take that long. And you can also look at things like fruit with some a really great recipe that I've learned from Sydney O'Mara, who's a really good nutritionist. Cater, coconut, almonds, dates and apple. Chop it all up, put a little bit of I use coconut yogurt, or put some coconut cream with it, and there's a fantastic breakfast cereal. So let me know, share this video around, let me know, what do you think? Do you have breakfast cereals every day? Do you struggle to work out what to have, particularly what to give your kids for breakfast? There are other options, and I may do another video shortly on the different type of things that you can have for breakfast instead of breakfast cereals. But I just thought I'd share this little bit of information. I thought some of it was interesting. And so share it around, make comment, let me know, and I'll see you next week on your next episode of the Amber Tree Wellness TV. Thank you very much.